everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon, and today I'm back with the full cast and crew, except from Lindy, who will be back with us next week, for Doors to Darkness, our Call of Cthulhu 7th edition live stream. So let's go around, let's figure out who we are and who we're playing. Let's start with Mr. Redundant UK. How you doing, Tom?
I'm not too bad at all, thank you very much. I'm a bit warm. I'm very excited to continue with Travis, and hope and pray that sneaking into a Call of Cthulhu asylum at night was a good idea. So yes, and there's one more thing that I need to do just very quickly. And there you go. Okay, I'm happy.
Oh, there it is. 23 years.
yeah, I've always been here. I'm older than you, Will.
Yeah, actually,
my subscription is older than you.
The channel was created before my birth. It was ordained. Thank you to Jay Briggs for critical success, to Pruitt. There we go.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. That's awesome. We also have with us tonight Mr. Grimjack2 on 502. Greg, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, buddy. It is Wednesday. It is between 1 and 4 Eastern. It is where it is at. The only thing to sully this otherwise beautiful day is the loss of our dear Mildred. But she'll be back, hopefully. Hopefully the calcium deposits are just that. And she will be able to weave her way through, get enough salt pills to keep on a clip-clopping through this here Call of Cthulhu. But I'm here. The guys are here. Gumble's here. It's a big sausage party. I guess we should play now.
It truly is. We also have Mr. Donovan Fry of us tonight. Don, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm looking forward to this, as always. Wednesdays is one of the highlights of my week. I love it. I also really am starting to enjoy playing Luis Delgado, the Coca-Cola Baron, who is not good at many things, but somehow he's there with these guys.
Great stuff. And we also have Mr. Jonathan Pruitt of us tonight. Pruitt, how you doing?
Well, I'm just doing Jim freaking dandy. It's another day. It's another 9-hour marathon. I'm ready to, for the fucking pistol to go off and get this race started. Of course, going to be reprising my role as Seth Penhollow, everyone's favorite book dealer and blubbering coward. I can't wait to see how he manages to eke through one more adventure without dying or shitting himself. I can't promise the second. He might have already done that a few times, so who knows. But I look forward to more shenanigans with Agent Gumble because it's great. I love it. So I can't wait to get to it.
Great stuff. Well, my friends, before we get started, I'll remind you guys that we are, of course, sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. Go over to fantasygrounds.com and play your own tabletop games over there with your friends, or try it out for free in a demo version. But of course, they've got a bunch of licenses over there that you should definitely check out as well. Along with whalinggames.co.uk, where you can buy D&D books, miniatures, RPG books. They sell Call of Cthulhu over there and Call of Cthulhu dice, so definitely go and check them out for up to 20% off the retail value. And of course, you guys can interact with today's show. If you haven't followed yet, hit the follow button. Join us. When we hit 20 followers today, you guys get to decide something which happens next in our campaign. And my friends, I can tell you, it's going to be a big episode. Also, here is the tweet for you guys again. And at 20 retweets, we'll have another viewer decision for you guys. And don't forget, as Izuva is making clear here, you guys can donate to a friendly game as well by giving players Nat 1s, Nat 20s, and Wild Magic Surges. Wild Magic Surges so far include 2 for Seth, 1 for Louis, and 1 for Travis. So get rolling, those guys, and let me know what you get, and we'll look those up here in a second. While we're doing that, in fact, if you guys can look these up, I'll link you guys to the table there in chat. You guys can have a look them up while I recap the last week's session, which was eventful to say the least. So the party started out, in fact, I don't exactly remember where they started out, but they have found themselves at this point breaking into the Hawthorne Asylum late at night in order to find what has happened to Travis's friend, the economist, Mr. Croswell, whom they believe has been captured, tortured against his will, in order to bring about some kind of cataclysmic event for the symphony. Caligula. The lines are becoming blurred. They broke in, successfully sneaking their way in. Also, there was a guard that was murdered along the way, but we won't worry about that too much. They managed to speak to an inmate there, who told them that Croswell was taken down to the psych ward, where they know that all sorts of electroshock treatment has been taking place. Along the way, they met with one Agent Gumbo, who's an American patriot to his heart and also a Fed. He believes that the agents with him are also Feds because they told him that they were, and so he has believed them, and has given them all agent code names, and is going down with them into the bowels of the asylum, into the psych ward, to try and find James Croswell, and potentially find Dr. Berger down there as well, whom they know to be involved in eldritch arts. They opened the door, and that's where we ended the last week's episode. So that's where we're going to start. So let's get to these wild magic surges. As you open the door, this big, heavy door in the asylum in darkness, and Gumble's there with his pistol in hand, having shot one of the inmates, and peeled open this heavy door. Seth, the next weapon nearby to draw blood becomes legendary. That's pretty awesome.
I've now gotten that twice. Once in Warhammer, once in here.
You're right. That's fucking weird.
That's how Matthias's gun became legendary.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. Great stuff. Also, the electricity crackles in Seth's clothing when he is angry.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. And then all food on Luis Delgado turns into glass. Presumably, Lewis has some food on him.
He has pockets full of cheese right now.
Amazing.
Would he have a
glass.
Coke bottle on him?
It's just turned into all glass. And Tom, the ground at Travis's feet is the back of a huge turtle. Okay, that's weird. We'll figure that out. Become a Terry Pratchett novel. So we'll get to that. We'll bring it in shortly. All right. So, as you guys peel open this door, before you lies pitch black darkness. Gumball is there with his shade, so you think that he probably couldn't see much anyway. But with no light sources, you guys are going to need to throw some of your flashlights in there to be able to see. Gumball has asked you to watch his 6 as he does a small tuck and roll into the room, which you're pretty sure was completely unnecessary.
This guy's really good. You want to go ahead, detective?
Up that. I'll take a look around, see what I turn up.
He steps into the room silently, almost silently.
I think I'll just wait right out here and not actually go into the room and let the good agent do the work.
We're never going to see him again.
But he's got a gun, so maybe he could protect us. Where did he come from, actually? I'm not sure.
He's probably one of the residents of this building, don't you think? The way he acts?
Well, so why are we following around a crazy person?
That's a very good question, and perhaps we should stop doing that.
Gumball comes back, looming out of the darkness. All you can see is his shades.
I found something I think you're gonna want to take a look at. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Okay. Lead the way. And
Yeah, you go
Travis-
first. Well, we're right behind you.
Yeah, Travis.
Follow me to the LZ. ASAP. ETA. Now.
And he turns and bids that you follow him.
Did he just call us lazy? I don't like this. I think maybe Mr. Delgado, we should stay back here.
Yes, I can watch the door while you go on ahead and see what he's after.
I mean, if you insist, I guess.
Oh no, Seth, please, you stay out here. I don't want you getting hurt. You're a bookman. You're not a infiltrator.
No, I
Gumball
don't have
turns
this. I don't have the spine for that.
Waiting for.
Oh, Travis is going with him.
All right then.
We'll never see Travis again.
So,
Come
Father,
along,
you're not
English.
Father, are you are you planning on going?
Asked. You want to walk together?
Well, I'd rather. And he's like looking from Luis Delgado with the big shotgun. He knows what the father can do, and then he's scared of this agent, and he doesn't really know where to be scared to. So he's. I'll follow you, Father, if you're going. I'll watch your.
How is
your
it in
six.
Lewis calls
Copy
after
that.
Travis.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, Lewis calls after Travis. How is it in there? Is everything all right?
What does it look like, Will?
So Gumball leads you in. He's got a one of the flashlights, so he seems to have managed to strap to his glasses in such a fashion that is now on his head. So he kind of swivels around and looks. And you can see a room in here. It's very dark. You've gone through a door, which Gumball's already opened up, into another room. And down here, you can tell that it probably once was a psych ward. It's got that sort of like linoleum flooring and like the signs of it looks like many of the cells down here, but a lot bigger. But in this room, there's desks, there's paperwork. And if you're familiar with any kind of paranoia board, see Don's work last season, this is what you're looking at. You know, he's actually, whoever's been down here has got like threads of string, which is attaching to different newspaper articles. And in this room, surrounding you, which is maybe 50 feet of just papers and notes and delicate, intricate work, Gumball finds the light switch and they flicker on with that. After like about 2 seconds, they go, and the room lights up. And Gumball goes to turn off his flashlight.
Looks like we got a classic case of a lot of notes.
Hey, these aren't yours, are they?
No, I don't write on principle. It's English, not American.
Oh, right. I see what you mean. You just stay here. I'll tell the others it's fine to come in, and we're going to start shooting.
It's clear.
Or we can just. I mean, that's fine. And Travis, I guess we'll try to, just have a look, a glance, because this is all over his head.
Seth, hearing that it's clear, will very cautiously kind of ease into the room and like look around and seeing the notes like everywhere. That actually kind of, you see him kind of get a little bit more calm, and he walks with a little more purpose and begins kind of looking at the notes, kind of going through them, seeing what they say.
You can roll me a wild magic surge, Seth. As can Travis, the first two to enter into this room, thanks to Steelers. Thank you, my friend.
Fuck.
Want me to look it up, or do you want me to just...
Yeah, look those up for me if you can. Do Father Carmine and Lewis enter the room as well?
Lewis gives the father a sort of very wary look, but he's still standing outside the room currently.
Damn it.
I can wait for you, Mr. Delgado. I don't want to leave you alone.
All right, very well. Thank you. You'll
You're welcome.
Yeah, he'll go into the room.
Gumbel makes a pretty quick and sharp assessment.
I'm pretty sure they were writing communism down. Looks like that to me. What do you think, nerd?
Well, I mean, the books are bound in red, but that's not really a denotion of communism. I think it was just the publisher's choice as he's kind of flipping through. And I am wearing a magic ring, technically, so my charisma's a 3, apparently, till dawn.
Nice.
Is that good? Is that bad?
Yeah, charisma is like you're looking even sweatier than usual. Thanks for
just water's pouring down in sheets on my face and dripping on the table. Just like doctor said I have hyperhidrosis and it could be caused by stress. I'm sorry. So sorry.
As imagine this is Harry and Paul sketch. You know, like Shark Tank in the US, but we have Dragon's Den in the UK. It's a similar one, and they like pitch ideas to these business tycoons, and they're like the sketch is like pitching this like idea, and then it's like an awful idea. Like let's just add an extra month into the year, and then they're all thinking about it, and one of them is like, "Where are you gonna find this extra month?" And they look back, and they're just drenched in sweat. That's exactly what I'm imagining. And let's see, Travis's target can't attack or be attacked for 2d8 rounds. You are safe for a while, Travis, for these next couple of seconds. So you can roll me like a spot hidden on this, Seth, if you want to be taking a look around and trying to figure out what his notes are.
Travis is going to use experience as a private investigator, because I would assume that to find someone he has a kind of similar board, you know, get like everything together. So he's going to try and do that to see if it makes sense towards him.
Okay, yeah, give me another spot hidden.
I am going to spend 5 luck to pass my spot hidden check.
Nice.
So I got a 25.
Cool. And Travis, what'd you get?
I had 92. I haven't got a bloody clue what any of this means.
So, yeah, Travis, you're very confused by all of this. Seth, this is a lot of work to go through. I mean, this is the work of years, you would suspect. And from what you can tell, this has been done largely by Dr. Berger, who runs this asylum and establishment. You see his signatures on various different pieces of patient forms around here as well. What most concerns you is that on these walls they have pictures of different people, including the party. All of you are pictured up here. The Brophy brothers are pictured on here, along with Mr. Croswell. A creature which looks similar to the avatar of Glar Aki can also be seen pictured here.
Oh god.
And there is a picture of a man, and this is central, perhaps the largest photo. Picture of a man in a long coat, perhaps over 6 feet tall, and looks to be some kind of policeman or investigator. And everything seems to stem from this man, who has a particularly strange and cruel look to him. You're pretty sure this man may have been wounded, maybe in the war, because he has got a lot of like facial burning and scars.
Oh god. And Seth is probably, since he knows that Travis didn't see all the crazy shit, like Seth maybe just trying to, mostly to bolster himself, kind of like, well, we saw that's the Galara key, an entity, we trapped it underneath the hotel in some caverns, and like he's probably just rambling, like probably would not make much sense to Travis, but he's trying to fill in Travis on who certain people are.
Right, well, that's lost it. Anyone else going to make sense out of all of this? I think he's gone. I think the darkness has got to him.
Well,
Anyone else want to step forward and tell me what's all this about?
That
You
guy
want
in
to
the middle. It looks like he might be a communist, maybe. What do you think?
Could be. He could be a fascist. Also, can't forget about the fascists. They're on the rise, I hear.
Maybe. So is communism. Most of the time. I hear.
Agent, I am most certainly a capitalist, but I will be happy to take a look at the papers here. And he takes a look at the photos. What about Gerald Fraser or his son? Are they up there?
They are also pictured if you look for them, yeah. Like I say,
Okay.
there's probably about 50 feet of dense and heavy photos and pictures and papers, but you can, if you look hard enough for them, you'll find them, yeah.
Okay, and what about the skull masked men who came in to the hospital and killed Castor?
Yes, you can find them. You can actually put a name to the face of the soldier in the skull mask who killed Castor. The name is Morris, Morris, all in caps. It's written next to that.
He'll point to Morris and look back to the father, and he'll say, "Father Carmine, I think there's something here you will want to see, and I want to make sure that you see it. You see this man here?
Yes.
I believe, based on my recollection of that night's terrible events, that this man, Morris, is the very man who killed your boy, Castor."
Father Carmine would immediately begin following every thread that leads to this one. So if there's any connecting or any, he just immediately starts to walk it around.
You'll find a thread which leads to photos of soldiers looking very similarly.
Magnanimous dispensation.
Latu with a £50 donation. Oh man, too many weeks since I've last seen these beautiful people. To celebrate, let's add Chris to the screen. 3 nat 1s for Travis, Lewis, Seth, and the father, and 3 nat 20s for the keeper. Oh, and the wild magic surge for the father. Thank you so much, Latu. I will put those on the screen just a minute here. And I'm sure Greg can roll out wild magic surge in a sec. So you follow the thread of Morris back to a thread of soldiers who look very similar to the ones who were in the hospital. Your friends can confirm that they are the same. It also leads back to this central figure, this policeman, who has been identified as one Martin Poole.
Oh God. Oh
Martin
God.
Poole.
That's him. Oh God, that's him.
Was he?
That's who we were, who Mildred was talking to. Who, remember at the house?
Oh, aye.
The fish teenagers. That's.
All right. So this guy sent them.
I'm gonna be sick.
Oh.
Seth kind of goes and leans against the wall a little bit as all this starts to get a little bit too much. Seeing all the connective tissues of this insanity.
Travis will go over and kind of pat him on the back, and he'll offer him a swig of his limitless whiskey flask. Have a swig of that, lad. I'll get you.
And he just takes it and.
Hey, I want you drunk. He'll take it back. Strong stuff.
Thank you. How are we gonna get out of what do we do next?
Well, we stick to the plan. We get Larry out of here. Right, is there a picture of Larry on this wall that has anyone have seen?
There is a picture of Larry.
Right. I'm gonna go to the picture of Larry and see where it's all like connected.
This connects to a picture of Wall Street, which leads up to something, Fred, which leads upwards and upwards and upwards. As you look up to the ceiling where the Fred has led, you see that on the ceiling has been painstaking. I think it's a mosaic, like placed together with parts of stone, is a face of a creature which does not look dissimilar to the fish creatures that you've seen. However, it's very old. If you could imagine, almost looks like it has a beard from age, rusted, ancient yellow eyes looking down upon you. And I would like everybody to roll a sanity check.
Nat 20.
Okay. I am going to spend 2 luck to make mine pass.
Can't use luck on sanity. Father
Fuck,
Carmine
I knew
gets a
it.
24.
Fuck.
I
Every time.
just pass.
Okay.
I got a 52.
Cool. So for those of you who passed, you will lose 3 points of sanity. If you failed, you'll lose 5 points of sanity. When you look at this creature, you know it to be something which is inherently evil, powerful, and beyond this world, beyond your own comprehensions. All of the threads, it seems, lead back to this creature. And looking on the ceiling, it looks as though, having been painted in blood, are the words Yog Sothoth. The words don't seem to make too much sense to you. Anybody could roll me an occult if you'd like to figure out if you have comprehension of what that word means.
I'm going to do that.
I think. How? So the blood
Regular
is
success.
old, right? Is it like old, dry blood? It's not fresh or anything, is it?
You would think it was old blood. Yeah, possibly very old. These notes look like they go back quite a long time as well. So it looks like Dr. Berg has been working on this for some time. You would think that, if you were to take a guess, you would think that Dr. Berger was trying to understand strange events that were happening, perhaps on a journey himself to understand the Eldritch. This may have led him down onto a very dark path, however, the more that Zeph reads.
Hey, this doctor has a strange hobby. Wait,
Gumble has been staring at you this whole time, completely uncertain of what on earth is going on.
So, this thing is like Lenin, and these guys are like the proletariat.
Well,
Right.
kind of points like maybe these are like the Bolsheviks and they're like overthrow. Anyway,
Cool.
I think that yes. I'm pretty sure this doctor is trying to somehow bring this thing into the world, and he kind of motions to Glaraki. Is that what we? I mean, the other guys were trying to. Do you think he's trying to also? I don't know. I mean,
Probably. There's
why
the
would
one
you
I
want to
know of
bring?
Lennon, which is a lot.
I'm sure you do. But this is a bit much. And by the way, I did succeed on that occult roll.
What you would know about Yog-Sothoth is that creature is said to know everything. Everything that has happened, everything that will happen, anything that possibly could happen. This creature is something of unlimited knowledge. You would also know that it created the Necronomicon. Or it is the Necronomicon? I mean, these things are pretty vague. Maybe it's a part of Yog-Sothoth.
Okay. That's. We could talk to any of these guys. We'd want to talk to that guy, but it would probably break our minds. But it would know. It would know what all this was. He kind of tries to relay that in jumbled mutterings.
Right. Well, I think it's time we moved on and found Larry, because it seems like this place is getting to Seth. So,
Travis, do you have a? Did you say you have a camera?
hey, I've got a camera.
Perhaps we should record, take pictures of this wall so that we can refer back to it later.
That's what we do in the FBI, yeah.
Of course, I'm an
We are the
agent.
FBI.
Oh, of course I've got a camera. I'm an agent. Okay, it's going to do a flash, by the way, so keep an eye out that no one's coming. And
Very good.
they just photograph, like, the walls and the ceiling.
It's going to take you a while to take photos
so I'll be doing
of
that.
all of this. It's probably a process of a few hours.
Bloody hell. I'm not going to do it for a few hours, so
yeah,
I'll probably
if you wanted to get like every sheet, if you wanted to get like
No.
just pictures of the room, you could do that pretty quickly.
I think I'll just get pictures and the main stuff. If anyone wants me to photograph anything particular, please say so and I'll do it. But I'll
Take
just
selfies with it. Yeah. Understood.
Yeah, the father indicates the particular area that has the Morris and the fan offs from the Morris person.
Absolutely. Another thread that you'd follow from there is back, interestingly enough, Father Carmine, as you look, to the McDrew Private Detective Agency. And on that photo, you see a woman who is Nancy Drew, McDrew, rather. There are the words, "You have sinned." Similarly, having been drawn with blood, seemingly, but very like fine. This isn't like swift brushstrokes with something that could paint a whole wall. This is like a small artist's brush, which has been drawn on.
Does it look as if it... Is there any threads that lead to this group from, like, anything that would relate to this group? Maybe something fresher? Is it... he's trying to figure out if maybe the McDrew Agency is a potential target of these... You know, if this declaration of "you have sinned" is more of a damning or a like a promise of retribution, and not so much as a link to something.
It could very well be a kill list. Looking around as you guys spend some time here, Mildred would be able to point out the believers. Similarly, have a "you have sinned" note upon them, and you know them now to be dead. Perhaps this is an order of execution.
Would the school for boys be on there? If Father
yes.
Carmine looks...
Yeah, you'll be able to follow the threads back. Similarly, "you have sinned." Interestingly enough, you'll find no trace of Caligula upon here.
How fascinating.
our pictures, the ones that are of us, are what are we most directly connected to?
You guys have a lot of threads running off from you. It looks as though there's been like an active investigation going on you. There's a lot of threads from Mildred, which leads to the avatar of Glar Aki, and they all lead back up to the top, to the fourth. All of you have at least one thread, as if you are marionettes dangling from a puppet master back up to Yoxafor.
Has a picture and a thread as well.
Travis has a picture and a thread. You also link back to the McDrew Detective Agency. You have sinned.
I got a fucking list here of all my sins, if you want to know it. Anyway, can we move on now?
Yeah, Seth will has been kind of pulled a book out of his bag and been looking at it. He's looking at volume 6 again. Kind of just goes to that when he's nervous and not doing anything else as he's leaning against the wall. But we should leave here. I don't like this. They probably know we're here by now.
There's more doors we could look at. If you want to do some snooping around, find some real communists.
Didn't you say you
Yes,
knew where they took the people to do electrotherapy on them?
This is the ward, English. Maybe they're around here somewhere.
Well, let's get looking then.
There are other doors around, for sure, that you could investigate down. Having taken photos of this and having looked pretty extensively at what Dr. Berg has been working on, you feel satisfied that you've probably found most of what you're going to find in this room. Gumball opens up another door. It's a staircase down into darkness.
Looks like we found something, boys.
Down there, you can actually hear the sound of something. It's a rhythmic drum beat in the distance that all of you could recognize as being... Well, in fact, Father Carmine might not recognize this, Travis might not recognize this, but certainly Seth and Lewis do, from having been down at the lake, Squatters Lake Motel. The same distant beating of drums that calls you downwards.
I don't like this.
We should not go down there. The last time we heard those drums, we began to bleed from our nose. It was very painful and uncomfortable.
Oh, you don't like drumming?
No, it's the pressure will start to act on us. I can't describe, but Mr. Delgado is absolutely right. We began bleeding, caused us great pain, and that is where. And he kind of points back to the that picture or whatever of Glar Aki, and that's where we found the. It kind of makes a general shape of what it looked like. It was.
Hey, all right, Seth. I'm Dave. All right. Well, Gumball, Agent. I guess we're not going through that door.
I mean,
we have to.
If you're not, I am.
Hey, I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, we should stick together, right?
What kind of federal agent are you if you don't go down creepy doors in asylums?
I'm more of an academic, really, when it comes to agencies.
How many more doors?
Hey?
How many more doors are there in the room?
There's another one off to the other end.
Well, Gumball, why don't we check out that door first, see if there's anything. If there's nothing there, we can come back to this one, right?
Okay.
Yeah?
Seems reasonable to me.
That's unsettling.
Gumball goes and opens up the other door, and it looks to lead into an office.
Oh, there we
You've
go.
been in Dr. Berger's office before, and this one is almost a facsimile of the office above. But similarly around here, more notes. It looks like this might be where his real office lies. you see that on the wall there is a painting, and the painting is that of a sunken temple, and a woman looks to be giving birth in the temple.
I'm going to ignore the painting because to me it's a painting. It doesn't really anything. So I'm going to be searching the desk for any files or anything like that of interest. It may need like on to do with Larry or anything like that. That's where my main focus is.
You guys can roll me spot hiddens.
And Seth drifts over to the painting. And I fail my spot hidden though.
I succeed with a 36 out of a 55.
Okay.
Spot hidden failed for the father.
Okay. So Travis starts looking around at notes. Seth, you can roll me a sanity check as you get close to this painting.
I knew I should have used a nat 20. Yeah, I failed.
You lose 3 points of sanity. As you look at the painting, you find yourself unable to resist touching it. And it's intricate. It almost looks like it moves. The water almost seems to be flowing around this dark sunken temple below the earth. And the woman on the altar appears to be there. As Seth touches the painting, you'll watch as Seth disappears and is gone. Travis, I'll give you something while this is happening. You've been looking at the notes. Dr. Berger has a Old Testament Bible, which he has placed down in the center of his desk. It looks to be like a really ancient old one. I'll get to that in just a second, a little bit, thank you. One of these super old looking Bibles. It's a first edition, as Gumball would say. And it's heavily annotated. And in the front cover on the first page, similarly finely drawn, painted in blood, you have sinned. And this Bible seems to have been heavily annotated by Dr. Berger. And it looks to be somewhat mad scrawlings that he's drawn upon this. It would take you some time to read through it and to know what he was trying to get at here. As you find this book and turn it over, this is about the time that Seth has disappeared.
As I find the book and have a look, hey Seth, this is just up your look. Seth? Hey guys, did you see where Seth went? Is he out in the hall?
He's gone.
What, out in the hall?
He's actually standing outside. He comes in at this point.
Yeah, Mr. Delgado, did you see Seth leave?
No, he's... Where did he go?
He went in here.
He was just here a second ago.
The father's pointing towards the painting because he was about 10 steps behind Seth when it happened.
What, he's behind the painting?
Looking at the painting, it looks as though there is now a man who looks similar to Seth in the painting.
He went into the painting? You saw this?
Yes, like this.
And he walks up and touches the painting.
The father disappears into the painting. Roll me a sanity check, Father Carmine.
Nat 20.
Very wise.
Good idea. Very wise indeed. Okay. You've got like 20 of these anyway, so you can burn through. So you step through the painting and you watch Father Carmine disappear and shortly reappear in the painting as though he'd been drawn in there the whole time.
As he does that, Travis is going to just step up and stagger backwards and almost fall on the floor. What the shit is that?
Lewis will put his hand out to kind of steady Travis's back, but he's also kind of shrinking away. It's some kind of magic, obviously, but I feel like We were getting well away from. Why did they do that? Why did
You know
they
what?
go in there?
This shit's weird. And I don't like artwork in the first place on principle, so you guys do this. I'm gonna go down the stairs.
Wait. I'd rather take the stairs than go through the creepy magic painting.
I'm going down the stairs. Anyone wants to follow me, cover my 6 and stay frosty ASAP.
And Gumball goes down the staircase.
Travis, what do you say we just leave? Leave the asylum. Leave this place. We just go.
Well, I gotta get Larry out. Need to find Larry. I owe it to him.
And you think he's in there in that painting?
No, I don't think he's in there. No, one bit. He's probably down in that creepy ass basement.
Well, I hope not. The last boy, my boy, Rufus, who went down towards those drums, he was ritualistically sacrificed to a giant, that thing that you saw in there.
What the shite have you all got yourselves into? I mean, for good... What?
Oh yes, I keep forgetting. You don't really know what's going on.
No. I don't...
Well, long story short, your friend, Larry, if he's down there, he's dead. He's already dead. Or worse, he's one of those fish things.
Right.
So, I'm not going to leave on my own because it's unsafe, but if you'll escort me, I'm happy to go with you and leave this asylum.
Wait. I just need time to process, okay? I just need time to let this sink all in, right? Because I just witnessed a person disappear into a painting. I've been attacked by fish people. And you're telling me all this gross, creepy stuff is real? Can I just say the United States of America is fucked up? Can I just say that right now? This is the first time I've come here, and this is the most batshite crazy place I've ever been. I've been to the blooming slums of Glasgow, alright?
That might be true. There is some craziness here, and there's certainly some bad, but there's good too in the United States. There's opportunity. There's Coca-Cola.
Right, I didn't know Coca-Cola's quite nice too. Right,
I'm not going to leave you. I don't want to leave you here, so whatever you decide, I will be with you, because I want to make sure that you're safe.
Okay. So, right, you know more about this stuff than I do, so how do we get them out of the picture? Do we, take it off the wall? Well, I'm not touching that thing, that's the big touch that they went through. So do we wait for them to come back out, or what?
Well, I don't know. Are they moving around, or are they static? What's happening over there?
Well, go take a look. I'm not having a look at that. It freaks me the hell out.
Oh, all right. But you keep me safe. And
Yeah. I'll watch.
Lewis will go over and take a look to see if are they moving around, or are they?
Let's roll a sanity check. I don't think you have any left on my screen.
Oh no! I think I will roll with advantage then.
You could have gotten that one. So Lewis, unfortunately, will step through the painting as he touches it, and loses 3 points of sanity.
So
Something is very about the power in this painting.
He can't resist it, and you see his jaw go slack, and his eyes widen, and you think he's just gonna look at it, and then he just he almost runs into it, and then
I got your. Wait. Well, Lewis, what are you doing? Hey. Agent Gumball. He's gone.
Totally right. I totally forgot that Wobbit had given 3 nat 20s and a potion to Mr. Delgado. My bad.
That's okay. I'll take
Should we
the save,
just-
boss.
Okay. No worries. Pop up there for you. So, Travis, what do you do?
Drink whiskey.
It's interesting, Travis. As you sip the whiskey and you watch your friends go into the painting, and Lewis shortly appears in the painting as well, you will see that you will hear something coming from the room back there with the desk and the writing and the paranoia wall. And it sounds like a telephone.
A telephone? Was there a telephone before?
You don't remember?
And it's there, just... Alright, I'll go up and pick up the telephone, I guess. Hello?
It's one of these old, obviously it's old because we're in like
Yeah.
the times, but it looks kind of like rusted and ancient for a while. And the voice crackles on the other side. Why, hello there, Mr. Travis.
Hello, who are you? Who's this?
My friend, I've been watching you for some time. My name is Lieutenant Martin Poole. I'm sure by this time you understand who I am.
I've got an idea, yeah.
Well, it seems like you're in quite the predicament, doesn't it, Mr. Travis?
Look, I just want to get my mate Larry and get out of here and go back to Scotland. That's all I want.
Of course, and I'm sure Larry will be returned to you as soon as possible. We just need him for a short moment, and then things will really be underway.
What, to turn him into one of those fish things?
No, that is not Mr. Croswell's fate. Do not worry, he will be fine, I'm sure. As soon as you do something for me, Mr. Travis.
And why the hell would I do anything for you?
Well, there are a few reasons. I suppose I could list them to you if you'd like.
Aye, go ahead. I like benefits.
First of all, if you don't, I will have you brutally tortured in a most horrific manner, which involves placing the tendrils of Yog Sothoth and his sons, Glar Aki's tendons, deep into your body, slowly pulling out the blood and sinew from them. We will then, secondly, employ the red sign of Shudamel, which will slowly but excruciatingly melt away your bones. You will still be mostly alive during this process. We'll make sure of that. And then, of course, our healers will see to that your bones will slowly fuse themselves back together, so that this process can be done again and again, until eventually you give in. Now, that, of course, is the first upshot of doing what I say, is that won't happen to you. But secondly, Mr. Travis, I'm sure that this is a situation, a scenario, which you don't want to be a part of anymore. Am I right? This has gotten too strange for you.
Aye. Just a bit. So what, you've seen I've got an escape, I got an out here, right? If I do something for you?
That's right, Mr. Travis. There is a way out for you still. You're not in this too deep that you can't swim up to the surface.
So what's the out then? Come on. What do you want me to do?
Well, I would like for you to touch that painting, first of all.
Right. And then what?
You
Just touch the
see,
painting?
Travis, several things are about to happen which I have been waiting for a very long time. These things are impossible to stop. They're in motion now, and Yog Sothoth has made sure that the time is nigh. We've had to push things forward a little bit, but that's fine. We've waited thousands of years for a moment just such as this. And if you were to scarper these plans, well, then I would have to employ the torture methods, which are most unpleasant. I don't take any degree of pleasure or satisfaction from them. If you touch that painting, you will not be harmed.
Right. And what if I just leave? Can I? Why do you need me there to touch the painting? Can I just leave and just leave? I mean,
well, my friend, it's just easier if you do what I say. If not, I'm gonna have to send Morris around. He's just outside, you see, and he's not a very friendly fellow.
Right.
See, I prefer that people do things on their free will. That is what God divine gave us. Isn't that
wait
right?
a minute. So, you already knew that everyone was going to touch that painting, right?
They always do.
They always do. Why? What is it? Why is that painting like... Well, it's magic,
Imagine it
isn't
like a door, Mr. Travis. Not a conventional one. More like a newfangled device which could take you from one place to another in a heartbeat.
Right. Okay, so you just want me to touch that painting, nothing else. And then I'm out.
And then you're done, Mr. Travis. You will be spared while the rest of your agency will lie dead.
Wait. What do you mean the rest of my agents? What do you mean? I'm a Jew and... Why are you going for them?
You'll be the last of a dead breed, Mr. Travis. They have sinned, and Yog-Sothoth Almighty has decreed their deaths.
I don't know who this Yog-Sothoth is. I don't care. I really don't. But just, how do I get them out of the painting? And we'll get out of your hair, the agency will get out of your hair, and you can do whatever the hell you want to do.
The way to get out of the painting is to go in the painting, Travis. The same way that going through a door is the only way to get out of the same room that you just came from.
Alright, so there's another painting on the other side and they just have to walk back through and that's how it works, right?
Exactly, Mr. Travis. Exactly. It's a very simple process.
Right. I'll touch the painting, but what's down in the corridor, by the way? What's down there? Larry's not down there, is he? You know, down with
No,
a bit...
Mr. Croswell is not down there. He is with us in that painting.
Right, and he's not going to be harmed?
No, Mr. Croswell will not be harmed.
Right, okay then, I'll touch the fucking painting.
Thank you so
Tell the
much,
others
Mr.
to
Travis. I knew you would see my way of thinking. I'm so glad we will not have to employ any horrible devices of torture upon you. You will survive.
And I hope never to
Perhaps you are
talk to you again, lad. I hope I'll never talk to you again.
I very much doubt that will be the case, Mr. Travis.
Right. Alright. I'll hang up the phone and throw it to the side. Oh, fucking hell. Alright. And then he'll go into the room with the painting and he'll have a look and see what the others are doing in the painting first.
They seem to be standing there.
Just no movement whatsoever.
It looks like the painting is moving. Like the oil is almost moving down, but it doesn't look like the figures in them are moving.
Is there... We don't have any rope with us, do we? I don't think we brought any rope.
Probably not, no.
No. I mean, I don't... Does he have jackets? I want to try and tie myself to, like, you know, a table or something, like putting jackets together and wrapping around so I like get through. Hopefully. I mean, it's pointless.
You could probably fashion something, yeah.
Yeah. He'll do that. Travis will try and do that and go, right. Okay, it's just a magic door. It's nothing. It won't hurt. It won't hurt at all. It won't hurt at all. Right.
All right.
Okay. You'll touch the painting.
So we have a couple of viewer decisions. So I'm going to take two of your ideas here, my friends. The viewer decision is going to be, who else is in the painting? Who else is in the painting? Thank you, Kiana. So, Fright, your ideas for that as Travis enters the sunken temple. But before that, I would like everybody except from Don to remove their headphones or listening devices.
Okay, I'll turn it down. Let me know in chat when you want me to put it back up.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay. So, copy that. Don, you head into the painting after your companions, and you feel yourself falling down to a watery darkness. It's as if you are falling through water, just being dragged down at an incredible pace. The water is dark, but you can feel it rushing up around you. It doesn't appear as though you need to breathe, though you hold your breath for a long moment before eventually your lungs give in. When they do, you breathe in air. It's almost like you're in a dream where you're falling. Usually by this point you wake up, but right now you're not waking up. You fall down to the ground and your descent slows, and you see that there is a light down deep below the water here. You must be miles down as far as you can tell. You no idea how you could survive a pressure like this. But down here, there is a table and 2 chairs. On the table, there is a telephone. On one of the chairs sits the man that you know to be Lieutenant Martin Poole. He watches as you descend, floating downwards, and lights up a pipe as you come down. And as you float down, you are seated down in this chair.
So as Lewis, for a while he kind of tries to swim away, but he still falls towards the table. And when he finally is seated, he does his best to straighten his dirty suit. Can he speak?
You can.
Martin, what is going on? Where am I?
Lewis, it is a pleasure to have you with me today. I did wonder when we'd next get a chance to talk. We're down here where Yogg-Sothoth likes to reign. It's into it that we have lodgings here, if you will. It's a lot easier than above ground. Less people find themselves down here. Only those who are dead or about to be do.
There's a flash of fear in Lewis's eyes, but it fades a moment later. And why have you brought me here?
Why, I wanted to have a conversation with you.
Well, it seems there could have been an easier way to do that, but I'm here, so...
Well, getting you
Let's have a
alone these
conversation.
days is a hell of a lot harder with those friends from Caligula you have.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call them friends, but I have been doing some work.
Indeed, and what have you discovered, Mr. Delgado?
Well, I've discovered that Caligula is very, very unorganized. I'm not actually sure how their agents managed to get one over on yours at all, the way they operate. It's amazing. It's amazing
Indeed.
that they are all alive.
Why, the mistakes of the past are still fresh upon my body and soul. And he indicates to the burn marks on his body. But Yogg-Sothoth has been most kind and forgiven me of my sins, less so of mankind's.
Yes, well, mankind's sins are many, aren't they? Speaking of, how goes the efforts?
Why, we're about to see their culmination, Mr. Delgado. It's about to be a very pleasant moment for us all. I just wanted to check in and make sure you were still on the same team.
Why, of course I am. I'm always on the same team. I like consistency. You know that about me. I'm a
That I
consistent
do.
man.
That you are, Mr. Delgado. That you are. Once this ceremony has been completed, there will be only 10 days left. After that comes the end. Mankind will be sent plagues. As is only fitting, Yog-Sothoth has a cruel sense of humor when it comes to divinity.
Yes, well, those who are the best and most fit to rule and wield influence in the new world will rise to the top. And that is the natural order of things. But I must say, Mr. Sloan has disappeared, and that is disconcerting to me. Do you know
Yes.
anything about where he is?
A friend of ours, mutual one, Mr. Prospero, has gone into hiding. I believe he may have information on such a matter, but I've been unable to reach him. Sloan and the Necronomicon are perhaps the only loose end we have not been able to tie up yet. I'm hoping that you might shed some light on that.
Well, I know that he used some sort of magic and was able to escape Prospero that way. Did you say Prospero's one of ours?
Prospero is no one's man. That's why he cannot be trusted. He can't be bought. I've tried.
He
He's
gives
something
me the
else.
shivers.
Well, yes, he is indebted to a creature of great power.
Oh, is this that Glower Alki, that sewer creature or whatever?
No, Glarkey is actually a distant son or cousin of Yog-Sothoth. His worshippers have been useful and influential in helping spread his power across the world. But no, Prospero may have heard of a creature, Shub Nagurath. She is something old, something ancient, something else. She plays no
They all
sides. But he is protected due to that. Yog-Sothoth has not ordained his execution. And so, we have been lenient.
Well, it seems that if I stick with the people that I am with now, I am bound to run into Prospero again. I can try to do what I can to learn more from him. I know that is a very important matter to solve. But should I expect more of these people that I'm with being gunned down right in front of me?
Perhaps. Morris has a itchy trigger finger. He's very zealous in his ways. No, for now I think Prospero is going to reveal himself to you. He's only going to have 10 days before the end, so he's going to have to at some point. We'll flush him out from hiding, and you, with his help, will find Sloan. When you find Sloan, kill him, and bring me the Necronomicon. All you need is to hold it in your hands, read the book, and you'll be able to find me.
Very well. But killing Sloan is... Will he die like a normal man? Will I need something?
Oh, why, yes, you will. He goes into a jacket pocket and retrieves a long silver revolver and shows you the cylinder. Inside, the bullets seem to be dipped in some kind of blood. And he hands it over towards the table with you. This should do the job nicely. Anything that gets in your way as well.
Well, very good then, very good. And he checks out the gun, checks out the chamber and the bullet, hides it within his jacket. Says, But it would be great if you could let Morris know not to take away my tools. These people, they're very useful. And if he must kill one of them, Father Carmine, I think, might be your biggest threat.
Yes, I have long been evaluating the father. I believe his fanaticism may lead him to being more malleable than he might desire. Morris, however, I haven't set him off his leash. I'll let you know if I do.
I appreciate that, Martin. As always, you are a pleasure to work with.
Likewise, Mr. Delgado, I appreciate your continued support. Remember, 10 days is all you will have. It'll get harder each day.
Well, I will strive to do my best, but with how quickly things have progressed so far, 10 days should be plenty.
We shall see. Oh, one last thing. He will go into his jacket pocket again and retrieve a small little pendant, very small. It looks to be that of a violin, made out of silver. And he pushes this on a table over towards you and says, should you need to speak with me or Morris at any time?
Thank you. I play it then. Is that all?
That's right. And thank you to Crying Wolf. I will do.
That is very handy. Thank you. And he puts this one away inside his wallet. He actually hides it significantly more.
Oh, and I am sorry about Rufus.
Oh, I'm not. Rufus was a pain in my ass. I'm sorry that I have to explain it to his father.
Don't worry, he's dead.
Oh, well, thank you for that, then.
You're welcome. I try and be as amenable as possible. And at that, you find yourself rising back up out of the darkness. And it's not an entirely pleasant experience. It's one that, as Paul kind of lifts a finger, he is clearly in command of your body and soul at this point, and it does not hesitate to make it clear to you that he is in control. And also, his wild magic surge is that Lieutenant Martin Poole finds a recipe for creating human life in a jar. That is incredible. Thank you for that power, Graham. That's okay, so let's put headphones back on for the rest of the players. That's so amazing. Hilarious. All right, you guys back? Cool. So we might actually wait for Pruitt just on a quick bio break here. But yes, thank you for that wild magic search. You guys didn't hear, but Lieutenant Martin Poole, he finds a recipe for creating human life in a jar. So that's good.
Bloody marvelous! Exactly what he.
I've also got in the viewer decision. Thank you guys for voting on that. Surprised that Ryan Hawks only got one vote this time. Perhaps as an audience, we are growing as a community away from the Ryan Hawks and instead to flying sharks and inverse mirror images of the party. So good job, guys. Yeah, Paul got even more OP.
As if you
just as if you needed it. So Travis, as you are the last one to touch the painting. Oh, here we go. Crying Wolf. Give the priest a bit of wild magic surge now. Convert the priest. Thank you, Crying Wolf. Father Carmine, please roll me a wild magic surge, my friend. And we'll look that up here in just a second. So, Travis, you're the last one to go down here. As you enter into the painting, each and every one of you, as you entered, will have felt yourselves falling downwards, pulled through water. Seemingly at first, you hold your breath. Eventually, your lungs give out and you breathe in air. The deeper and darker you go, you're going at an incredible pace downwards. You must be miles beneath the ocean right now, until eventually below you see lights, effervescent, almost blue-green glowing lights in the darkness, almost something like a fungi. You see before you the sunken temple that was in the painting. It's an edifice of stone and rock, covered in algae and all sorts of sea life. Swirling around it are almost a shoal or school of sharks. They seem to be swimming around in circles around it, almost as though in a trance. They're all going at the same pace. There must be about 20 sharks down here that are swimming in unison in a circle around the sunken temple. A lot of the fish seem to be drawn in as well. There's whole schools of fish that are just swimming their way around the outside of it, as if drawn in. It's similar to the way that bugs are drawn in by light or moth to a flame. They seem entranced by the temple. And the deeper you go, you hear a siren song. A symphony of music is erupting from the bowels of the earth, from beneath the earth, in fact. And you hear the drums again, but you also hear a sonorous cry of screaming music. At the same time, violins, a symphony, a chorus of song. It's beautiful. As you are drawn down, I would like everybody to roll me a sanity check. Oh, and you can all take nat ones on that. As you
Son of a bitch.
fall down, you can blame the two. I mean,
Oh, I do.
as you I did want 32 nat ones, Jesus Christ. As you are drawn down, you will all lose 2 points of sanity. As you hear this music. However, those who fail, which is all of you, feel entranced by the music. It is sonorous. To Father Carmine, you hear a holy prayer. You hear a familiar prayer song which lifts your spirit and soul. This is one that you would sing with the boys. That you'd regularly get them to sing as well, and it fills your heart with joy. For Lewis, this is a song that you've heard before, perhaps in your dreams. This is a familiar song, perhaps one that you didn't ever realize that you've heard before, but now that you're hearing it, you realize that it has always been there. For Travis and Seth, this is a similar thing. Comforting, warming to know that, that's where that drum beat has always been. That's where the violins have always been playing. And as you descend down, you find yourselves at an altar. You're kind of pulled downwards there to the belly of the earth. At this belly, and the temple, which is like open air. It's not really like a traditional cathedral. It's more just edifices of stone and rock. You will see Dr. Berger there, completely naked and covered in all sorts of seaweed and fish that seem to have drawn themselves onto him, as if he is pulling them inwards, entrancing them. Behind him, standing and floating, are the two Brophy brothers, William and Robert, similarly naked, completely stark naked, but covered in algae and fish. On the altar, there is Mildred. She is on the stone tablet, and Dr. Berger is before her. And you will see floating downwards from above, as you guys are standing here entranced. You'll watch Lieutenant Martin Poole, the figure that you know to be him, descending downwards. He's still wearing his cape, which almost flows behind him in an almost wizard-like fashion through the water. It would perhaps look so comical if he weren't so entranced by the sound of this sonorous music. Around you are fish, creatures, not only sharks, but those fish babies and teenagers, perhaps, that you have seen before, the adolescent breed of this strain of part fish, part human. They watch as a chorus and join the song and dance around you in a totally alien and bizarre manner as you are brought down here. Paul flies down to the altar and looks down at Mildred. You see a cold, calculating, uncaring look in his eyes, and he looks over towards all of you, draws a big smile at Travis, and says, "My friends, I am so glad that you can be here to witness the beginning of the end. This has been a long time in the coming, but Mildred, you have been chosen. You are a believer after all, the last of your kind, and Travis, you, the last of yours. Father Carmine, the last of yours, who is soon to become the last of his. And Seth, well, you're just a lonely bird, aren't you, Mr. Penhollow? Well, it is nice to have an audience aside from the children. You're so far to be here." He places a hand on Mildred's belly, which looks to be swollen and large. She does not seem to be able to move, similarly entranced. And as he places the hand down on the belly, you see the belly going down, the swelling going down. And from Paul's hand, in a small jar, there is a fish child baby in his hand. And he looks at it, beautiful, and uncorks the jar, and it flies upwards. The child, at once tiny and small, grows swiftly as the other children of the fish creature begin to latch themselves to it, and it begins to grow larger and larger. And Paul looks upwards as the creature, and he begins to chant along with Dr. Berger, begins to form, and he says, "Praise be to Yog Sothoth. His children are here. The end is coming, my friends." At this, the group of you are sent upwards with a finger from Lieutenant Martin Poole, and all of you find yourselves rising to the surface incredibly quickly, until you are spilled out in a bathtub. You are in a room. You are somewhere dark. Each of you are in a bathtub. And as you splutter awake, Mildred with you, you'll hear a voice. "Whoa. I knew I should have come down here. This shit is weird. Hey guys." Agent Gumbel is with you, and you seem to be downstairs in the offices of Dr. Berger.
Oh my god. And Seth will look over at Mildred and just want to try to get away from her. So he might actually try to move out of the bathroom. What was that? What did you do? You've only been carrying it for a few weeks. It's premature. It's awful. It's evil. But
I'd like everybody to roll me another sanity check. If you're going to use a nat 20, let me know.
nat 20.
Yeah, I'll nat 20 it too.
Father Carmine?
Father Carmine rolls and succeeds.
Nice. So, you will only lose 5 points of sanity for watching the birth of Yog-Sothoth.
That's for success?
That's a success. You didn't want to fail that one.
Yeah.
That's a permanent insanity for Lewis.
I'll talk to you about that.
Yeah, I think for me as well.
Okay. It is safe to say that, in fact, let's do this now. For those of you who have permanent insanities, you know that the end of time is nigh. There is not long left for this earth, and there's probably not much you can do about that. You're fascinated with the idea of a time of reckoning.
Travis is
Gumble's just looking at you. So what did you find?
wake up and get out of the bath. What the shit was that? And start
It was-
gagging. Yeah.
And
Gumble, what did you see down here?
They were like baths, and then they filled up with water, and then you guys came out of them. And now
Nothing
we're
else,
here.
no other people. You didn't see
He
Travis's friend.
turns on the flashlight.
Oh yeah, and there's this guy.
And you will see Larry Croswell, or what's left of him. He has been crucified and hung, drawn, and quartered as well, it would look like. And he has been stapled and nailed into the wall. He is missing all organs from his body. This will cause another sanity check, of course. Anyone that's using a nat 20, let me know. Is that nat 20 for Father Carmine, or is that from Don? Sorry.
No, that's for me. Don.
For you, okay.
Past 18.
Father Carmine succeeds with a 46.
Nice.
Yeah, Seth is in that 20. But Seth seeing Larry and everything else, he begins to, whereas normally he's been kind of like freaking out. You're not really sure if he's finally broken or not, but he actually is standing there kind of calm, and he sees the crucifixion and walks out of the bathroom towards it. We're here. Don't you see, everyone? This is it. We're gonna witness the end. We have front row seats. It's
We're going to witness somebody's end.
Father looks around for a telephone.
There isn't one in this room, as far as you can see. However, painted in blood above Larry Croswell are the words Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
As Seth walks through the door, he hears a wild magic surge, which reads, the next door that Seth opens leads to a meat locker. Seth, as you step through the door, all around you is charnel and flesh. You're inside a being. You're inside what looks to be almost like a butcher's shop, but it's just flesh and meat and crawling maggots around. And inside here, there is a gibbering and mad boy in a school uniform who is hanging from the ceiling, but still alive. And he's gibbering to himself, somehow still able to speak. Judgment Day, Judgment Day, Judgment Day, Judgment Day.
Oh no. And Seth, Seth is he by himself in this?
You're completely alone. You've walked into
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Oh, and Seth already kind of being broken. He's like, yes, it is. It's Judgment Day. Shh, shh. And he walks up to the kid, like trying to just calm him. It's okay. It's almost over. And he reaches into his bag and pulls out his Derringer. He's like, shh. And he slowly puts it up to the kid. It's okay. Judgment Day's coming. And he pulls the trigger.
His brains explode into the room, just churning with meat and flesh and organs. And you hear a voice booming, as if from the outside, echoing around. It's a voice that you would recognize to be Mildred's. Oh, it's going to be all okay, dearie. And a thud, 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 as the flesh of this womb is tapped. For a moment, Seth, you're in there, and then your friends catch up with you. You'll see that Seth is staring at a wall which reads Judgment Day. And Seth, you break out of it. Seth, you can roll me a sanity check here. And that's 21 now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only got one left. But yeah, Seth is finishing one of Mildred's cookies as they come in. Like, oh, don't you see? We're almost done. We need to see the end. We have to see this through. And he gets excited and pulls out his back. I can contact Laura Key. We can figure out maybe a way to finish this. What say you, Mr. Delgado? Are you ready for your sins to be counted?
No, now's not quite the time for that, but look at this. It seems we've solved the case. I hate to be right, Travis, but I did tell you, your friend was, well, you saw.
Travis looks at Larry and he kind of just, sorry, Larry, I'm sorry. And he'll turn to Lewis and go, You're right. There's only one thing left to do. And he pulls out a gun and I'm gonna get the son of a bitch that did this. I'm gonna blow his fucking brains out. And
That is an excellent idea.
he's
The reckoning.
Good idea, I like it.
The reckoning. It comes for us all. Mr. Travis, you can be the
Hoorah.
instrument.
Jesus, I like it. Well,
Hey.
it looks like close from here, so I'll leave you guys to it. If you ever need Agent Gumble, you know where to find me. And he throws out a bunch of cards that just fall onto the floor. He tucks and rolls up the staircase. Just
Lewis
continuing
checks
up the
out the
staircase.
cards.
They're blank.
Lewis checks out the cards. Does it have an address? Like, is there what is on Agent Gumble's card?
Yeah, one side is blank, the other side is just the flag of America. And it says, you know where to call.
Oh God, I love him.
And as mysteriously as he came, Agent Gumble leaves.
Well, friends, I understand you want to get revenge for the death of your friends, but that's not why we were here. Seth and I, we were here looking into a case, and that case is finished now. It's solved. I'm happy that we made it through to the end, but I'm not entirely sure that you should go after these men. I think that they might be the end of you if you do that.
Who do you believe that this Martin Poole works for? The symphony?
That's what he says, isn't it? That he runs the symphony or something like that?
You would
He's
know this
against
by reputation.
And he
Yeah.
He is after everyone else. My boys, the believers, even Travis's agency. Yet where was Caligula on the board?
It wasn't there.
It
The
wasn't
reckoning
there.
is coming for us all, though. I see where you're going with this, Father. You think that Caligula was behind this?
I think they knew they were going to lose.
So they went ahead and switched sides?
Yes, they did.
Ah. So we were just an offering.
We were a distraction,
Ah.
meant to draw out Sloane and his book.
Ah. Yes. Yes. It was a
Don't you
way.
Don't you think then that rather than go directly after this Poole fellow, we should instead be looking for Sloane? It's likely that we will find them both together.
Will this Sloan guy be able to stop him?
Well, I don't know. We didn't know Sloane very long, but he did have command over magic. He had a book that allowed him to remove himself to safety, so I don't know the extent of his powers. He was not a very forthcoming man.
No, but
He
his
fought
book.
with my boy.
He did.
That's all I care about.
But his
And they got
book
along well.
is powerful. What it can do.
You guys are talking about the long game. Let's talk about the short game, as in putting a bullet in this Dr. Burger's head. Right, let's find him and put him out of his misery.
Well, in
I'm
the
not
game,
so
though,
sure
it's just a
Objective
pawn.
I don't care. I don't care.
Oh,
I say we go up there, put a bullet in that guy's head. That's number one. And I wish Windows would stop editing my volume. Bastard Windows.
Windows
Sorry
controls
about
us
that,
all.
bit of dust.
The reckoning is coming for
Dogs.
Windows as well.
It's Yog's Thoughts
You also
Update.
see it up there on the wall. It's Windows 10. You have sinned.
Windows Vista, my god.
Oh my.
The end is nigh.
Makes sense. The one hope is Linux. If you guys presumably are like walking out of the creepy bathtub
yeah.
and it's changed for so if you head back up to the paranoia room, there is a telephone up there, Father Carmo. And there's also the room with the painting and the Bible annotated, which you haven't yet really gotten a chance to look at.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot about the Bible. Oh yeah, Seth.
Yeah,
You-
yeah.
well, firstly, are you okay? Like, oh,
I'm fine. I see.
great. There's a book
I
over
see
there that you
things.
might be interested.
Good. I see things a little clearer now. And he'll go over to the Bible and begin rifling through it. Oh, this is a first
Okay.
edition. Here.
You only deal in first editions.
Second edition's
Okay.
okay.
Roll me a
Dear
library use here.
Dear Mildred, my old high school chum, love Jesus.
The cookies were good. A little leaven though. What roll a what?
Sorry, library use.
I will love to roll a library use. Something I'm actually good at. Yes, that is going to be that's an extreme success.
Very nice.
Yeah, roll a
Reading
15.
through Dr. Berger's annotated Bible, every passage and verse has been annotated and edited. I like editated though, it might be a new word. To twist its meaning and understanding. And a new verse has been written in a language which you don't understand, but it is the language of the drums, the language of the temple. It's something old. There are some notes that are in English, and specifically pages on the deadly sins, and also the plagues of Egypt.
Yeah, I'll point that out. Yes, the plagues. Have we seen anything like this happening? So it would mean the end, wouldn't it? And he'll just kind of point all the actual details that he can make out to Father Carmine, thinking that he would be the closest person.
To remind you of the plagues of Egypt, you've got water into blood, you got frogs, you get lice, wild animals, diseased livestock, boils and buboes, hail and fire, locusts, darkness for 3 days, and then the death of firstborn. Strikes Father Carmine as though he might have lost a few firstborn sons.
It's a bastardization. They are moving beyond the book.
Yes.
Twisting it for their purposes. They're telling their own story.
Yes. But the end is still the same, it seems.
Is it?
The reckoning will come for us all. You didn't see that? Down below?
Why didn't Poole kill us down below?
He
wishes us to bear witness as the last of our kind? It seems too poetic for a man that dresses like he does.
Perhaps he thinks he's already won. That there's nothing that we could do to stop him.
Then he's a fool, because I believe he's believed that before.
He goes over and picks up the phone.
Martin Poole, please.
You get through to someone on the other line. The voice crackles. Speak.
Martin Poole, please.
Not available. So, what do you need, Father Carmine?
Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Morris, perhaps?
Aye. Morris.
Ooh. I hope to see you very soon, Mr. Morris.
Oh, maybe you can come and join me and the boys here. Eh? Fun
Where
little
is
playthings
here?
they are. You ask where is here. He doesn't respond.
Who has promised to protect you, Morris?
I don't need protecting, Father.
Good, then you're stupid. Yes. Yes, Mr. Morris. This shall be fun. Now, where is your boss?
Have you checked in on that school of yours recently, Father? Figured I'd pay in a little visit myself. Might see you there.
You have an open invitation, Mr. Morris.
All right then. Maybe I'll stop by and pay my respects to the boys. They're a lot of fun. The screams. Exquisite.
You are checking every box for me, Mr. Morris.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Father Carmine. Oh, I'll book myself in an appointment.
Make
Hangs
sure you
up.
don't face me like a man.
Yeah, he's gone.
He hangs it up again, clicks it, and leaves the stem of the receiver up. And as he does so, he looks around for. And you said there was a glass partition in the okay. He looks into that and he sees if he can't find Morris. He's taking a shot.
Roll me a difficult power check.
Nat 20.
Nice. You can.
I'm bringing him
You
through.
find him. So first of all, you see in the mirror that Morris is sitting at your desk at the school. He looks in the mirror towards you and grins. And he shoots the mirror. And the glass shatters. The connection is broken.
We have time.
He is in
Yes, but we need some help, don't we?
We need Sloan, but we can't use him.
Well, we need Sloan. I know somebody who's looking for him.
And Seth walks over to the phone, like picks it up and
Mr. Prospero?
Mr. Penhollow, I was wondering when you were going to give me a call. Interesting how many
Fascinating phone.
interesting conversations we have over the telephone.
Yes, it's a wonder of the new age. It's going to change the world one day if we live long enough. Speaking of that, the end of the world is nigh. I don't know if you already know that.
Oh, I heard. I've seen it. The blood, Mr. Penhollow. It's the first sign. Day one.
The blood? Day one. Where did you see the blood?
Run any tap, my friend.
he like looks over. Is there like a bathroom near this office?
There's like a little sink in Dr. Berger's office for like cleaning.
Yeah, Seth will just kind of look over whoever's nearest, be like,
Turn the sink on, please.
looking at Lewis.
Of course, yes. Now why? And he turns it.
It runs red with blood. A steady flow.
Fascinating.
He looks back at Father Carmine.
The end. It is nigh. Well, Mr. Prospero, we need to find Sloan. We need a way to stave this off. I guess. But the reckoning will come. So, I assume that you've built up quite a few sins yourself. So maybe you would like to stop this as well?
Indeed, it is in all of our interests to prevent the true birth of Yog-Sothoth.
Yes.
Tell me, what do you know, Mr. Penhollow? It is urgent that we share information and work together now.
Well, Yog-Sothoth, he's born. He's been born. We saw it. I looked into. It was beautiful.
He kind of like Seth zones it out for a second.
And
I'm sure.
yes, we need to.
He kind of glances at Father Carmine.
We need to get to Baltimore. Can you facilitate this?
I can arrange transportation. Might I ask why Baltimore?
One of the ponds that could lead us to where we need to go is there.
It's too late for my boys.
Yeah. You're right. Yes, it's come for us all. It's already come for them. Where should
The one
we
they
go?
call Morris. Is he who you speak of?
Morris, yes, of course. You would know that. You know everything.
He is a hound. Every hound has a leash. That
Yes.
leash leads its way back to his master.
That's
Yes,
what I was
think
thinking.
it would
Yes.
be well to find Morris. It may be too late for the farmer's boys, but not too late for us.
You think? Maybe? Yes.
But let me tell you this now, my friends. There is only one way we'll be able to defeat Pool and his creatures. And that is with the weapon that Yog-Sothoth brought unto this world a piece of himself, the Necronomicon.
Yes. Yes. Seth gets kind of a jovial, almost childlike smile, remembering what the whole reason he got into this force. Yes, I forgot. Necronomicon. That's what I was looking for all along. It was right in front of me.
Yes. Mr. Penhollow, you are a clever little bird, aren't you? Yes. We must find the Necronomicon. I will facilitate a way to reach Sloane. But first, I think it is well that you visit Baltimore. Find Morris.
Yes. Because the reckoning must come for him too. As it will come
Indeed.
for us all.
Not if we can help it, eh, Mr. Penhollow? We'll have to do our best. Caligula cannot be trusted. I've lost all communication with both them and the Symphony. I think they know that I'm trying to help you.
Yes. Yes. Of course, yes. Can't be trusted, Caligula.
No.
Oh,
Outside
well,
there is a
yes,
car waiting. It'll take you to a train. Be able to get to Baltimore. Might take you a while.
Car to a train. Mr. Father Carmine, we can go to Baltimore. We can find Morris. We can pull his leash. We can find the hand that holds it. And the reckoning can come.
Didn't Poole say that Morris was outside?
Well,
He
did
asks
for
the group.
me. He did for me, but he was probably lying, because he did say that Larry.
I do get the sense you may have been
was-
done over here, Travis. You did say Larry was fine, and he was
Was
crucified
fine.
and in the basement when you
Yeah.
specifically
So he
asked him,
lied,
was he in the
like,
basement?
Honest,
I
and he
don't-
said, like, I was out if I touched the picture, so I'm quite clearly still in it. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
take what he said as gospel.
Yeah, I'm starting to think
I
he's
still
not
want to kill the
trustworthy.
doctor here, by the way. I feel that's still up for grabs if he's here.
I believe it is all a straight line, Travis.
So what, we
We'll
killed
find
the
your
doctor?
He will find us.
Oh, right, okay. As long as he does.
It is a straight circle.
Yeah,
I was taught that in seminary.
beaming in chat.
Alright, sure, so... Right, so what do we do here? Set fire to all of this and then bugger off?
You're still on a line to Prospero, presumably, so Prospero will say, the car's outside waiting. You can reach me if you need me.
Yes, of course. Finding Volume 6 quite enlightening, by the way. And he'll
Good.
go to and hang up the phone.
Yep.
We can get to Baltimore. We can go. You'd like, Father?
What would you like to do, Mr. Delgado?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't see a reason why we should go act like we are soldiers, throw ourselves at these men. Now, perhaps you two, Travis and Father, you haven't seen just how heavily armed and well prepared these mercenaries or whatever they are, I don't think it's wise. I think we should focus on finding Sloane. Seth, did Prospero give you any inclination as to where Sloane might be?
He said he was going to find him. He said he was going to try to contact him. Yes. And that we could take care of Morris and try to find where that leads.
Don't you feel like perhaps Prospero just wants to keep us busy or get us killed?
I think that's probably yes. But I also think that if we find Morris, that we can find who holds his leash. I really do.
Well, if the conspiracy board we saw earlier is to be believed, and he's playing it back in his head, the conspiracy board connected Morse to... Who did it connect him to?
I thought Morris was
Pool.
connected. Yeah.
Pool?
He connects to Paul. He also connects to the children's school in Baltimore.
Okay.
But he also connects
Then-
up to Yog-Sothoth. I mean, it all does.
Everything goes to Yog-Sothoth. I believe Morris is somehow connected to Pool. I don't know if they're working together, but the conspiracy board did connect them.
Right, so if we find Morris, we can find Poole.
So let's go find Morris.
Yeah,
Mr. Delgado, do you believe the world is going to end?
I believe a great change is coming. I've felt it for a long time. The world
Mr.
ending
Penhollow.
is-
Yes, sir.
Mr. Penhollow believes that the world is ending, that the end is nigh. So the question to you, Mr. Delgado, is do you share his faith?
Seth, I think, is interpreting events his way. And I think that might have something to do with this book you're reading. You keep mentioning it. Volume 6, yes?
And y'all look over, and Seth has Volume 6 in his hand, and he's like,
Yes. Yes. Yes, this is, I can contact Clara Key. I just need a little bit more time. I'll be able to actually contact him. That
Put a
might be
pin in that.
beneficial. Okay.
Glaurar Key is a monster or a demon. We saw him before, yes, in the sewer. You weren't there, but he did try to eat us. So...
Right.
I mean, it was his avatar, but yeah, in essence, it was him. Yes.
Right. Do you
So does that
do you
answer your
think
question,
it's
Father?
wise to keep a book about
No.
a thing that's just about to eat you, and you could summon it? Just saying, you think that's wise?
Well, books aren't that dangerous. They have good knowledge and bad knowledge. Perhaps there's something in that book that will help us move forward together.
Well, you guys know more about this stuff than I do, so is there stuff in there that could help us?
Well, I mean, academically, I'm going to have to disagree with Mr. Delgado. I mean, knowledge is knowledge. It's the application thereof that is could be considered good or evil. But yes, I some way I think that maybe being able to contact this entity directly, we can circumvent those that want to try to bring it in. We can find out if maybe there's a way to thwart what they're doing. We could glean information. We could find anything.
Why would it want its minions to be thwarted?
Well, we're not going to tell them that.
Right, so you're gonna try and trick a monster that's already tried to eat you once by using a book. Is that
exactly
the general
what he's
idea?
Mr.
Right.
Travis, who's trying to kill us?
What?
You've been around long enough. Who's trying to kill us?
Well, if I'm getting this right, trying to work it out all together, Martin Poole seems to be the big honcho in charge of all of this. I've heard
Right.
Symphony and Caligula, they seem to be pretty shite organizations that want us dead too.
Right.
I don't know much about Prospero. I don't know much about him, I'm afraid. And literally every single monster that your mummy told you when you were in bed is actually true, and every single one of them wants to kill you. So, quite a lot. Am I missing anything?
No, you've named the big ones. And so,
Right.
who wants us to go to Baltimore?
Hey, if Morris is there and I can pull a bullet in his head and it'll lead me closer to Martin Poole, I'm up for it.
And you believe that Morris let that slip that he was in Baltimore?
I reckon he's overconfident.
Going to Baltimore is doing what they wish.
So where would you suggest we go?
I don't know. We cannot find Sloane.
I still say we find the doctor if he's still here and we can make him talk. Maybe
Where
we'll
did
get
you
another
lose
idea.
Sloane? He looks at Delgado and Seth.
Oh, well,
We
we
were
were
in a
in a diner. Yeah.
In a little town just outside of Arkham, Prospero was there, and he was threatening us, and he wanted the book that Sloane had. Sloane went into the back, and I provided a distraction so that Sloane would have the time to get away and do what he did. I don't know where he went from there. Magic was involved, though.
Mildred saw it. He left. He went to the book. Prospero seemed pleased when he did. Almost like it. I think it led him to him or something. I'm not sure. I don't pretend to know his motives.
I trust Prospero the least of any of them. And I believe Prospero knows where Sloane is.
Prospero did keep us alive in the hospital when the symphony was coming to kill us.
And he wishes us to go to Baltimore now. He's going to facilitate that travel.
Yes, he's a man of means. I'm not sure what he is. I'm pretty sure he's been around for a while.
I would very much like to meet this Mr. Prospero.
Oh, you just had him on the phone, didn't you? Can you not get him back?
Face to face.
All right.
It seems to me that everything that's occurred since Sloane has disappeared has been Prospero keeping you alive. And when you survive, he throws you somewhere else, almost like a distraction.
Or two. You know,
I do
like
not
you're
like taking another man's tool.
I mean, is that not
If you
what we were to
succeeding, I
Caligula?
would You were
Are we
pawns.
not just a... Yes.
I don't
pawn
know
is a
what you
tool?
are.
I mean, seems like we can sit here and wait a few days and the world will end, or we could go somewhere and do something about it. I mean...
We must... My friends, I do not know the answer to this, but we must do not what is asked of us, or directed of us, or hinted at. We must do what they do not expect.
Okay,
Father
so...
Carmine, I agree with you.
So then we should go back to Arkham and go to the restaurant and burn it down.
Well, they definitely won't expect that. But why would you burn down an innocent person's restaurant? Makes
Prospero runs it. It's Prospero's restaurant.
So you want to go after Prospero?
He just said to do something unexpected. It's the last thing that I would want to do right now.
Prospero
he starts
says
actually,
that
like
he
looking at
has
his
been-
hands.
Prospero says he is working with both the Symphony and Caligula, or was. He no longer can contact them. Mr. Delgado says he trusts Mr. Prospero the least. What's to say that he is lying about his current association? I say that if Prospero is now contacting Poole or any member of Caligula, saying that we are on our way to Baltimore, it would look awfully bad for Mr. Prospero if we were to arrive on his doorstep.
That's if. That's what he's doing. Maybe he's just helping. Maybe he doesn't want to
Perhaps.
die in the rest of the world when it all burns.
I think that
Mr.
he wanted
Delgado,
to-
does he strike
don't
you as a
think-
helpful man?
No, he strikes me as many of my contemporaries, a man of power and means who sees others to be used as he would. I do not think that your guess at his allegiances is wrong. I think there's a very good chance that Prospero is aligned with malign forces inside either the Symphony or Caligula. But it does seem that him and Poole, they must be working close together. And if that's true, then that means that Prospero must be very close to finding Sloane. And that's why he wants us to go to Baltimore.
But you think Sloane's in Baltimore, or is it that he's just distracting us away from where Sloane actually is?
That's what I believe. I believe that he does not want us to find our, well, Seth's and my previous companion.
Right, so you think we should go to Arkham and confront Prospero in person?
I do. The Black Dahlia, that's the name of the restaurant that he owns. He might own
yes.
many others in the area.
Wait, of course. Hang on. Mildred, she's the key. She's why he's been helping.
Yes, she is.
She was
Yes,
birthing. She was carrying the child. Of course, she had to keep him. But wait a minute. He told me to just leave y'all behind at the hospital, but I couldn't. I don't know. I just don't know. I think we should go see Prospero, though.
Lewis will go up to Seth and try to put a big hand on his shoulder, kind of get his eyes. Seth, you are your own man. You have value. Just
Yes, I
remember
do.
that. No matter
I do.
what is coming.
I'll have value right till the end. Yes. And it, like as you're saying that, he kind of breaks eye contact and looks down and checks his hands again, to, make sure they're not turning into claws. But yes, yeah, I think that the look on Prospero's face would be almost worth it. Oh, Judgment Day, though.
Right.
Do you guys want to head out of this room?
If
Out of the asylum?
you wanna go ahead, I'm gonna burn this entire room. Before I
It's
go.
going to definitely be difficult to burn the room itself, but the paper will go straight up though. If you want.
Yeah,
to
oh
burn
yeah,
all
sorry,
those.
more the paper, not like the walls. I'll burn the paper. That's
Sure,
what I
sure.
got.
Okay. So you can totally do that.
Yep, I'll be doing that.
You guys head out of the asylum. There is a very nice car waiting for you. The engine is running. No one is inside. You do not see anyone on the way out aside from inmates and people from the asylum. But no more guards that you run into.
It's convenient. Father Carmine gets behind the wheel.
Jesus,
And
take
Seth
the
will get in there. Seth will call shotgun and get in the passenger side.
Don't just sit in the back then.
Time of day is it?
All right. It is almost dawn, so we're on to the second day here.
In that case, I'm going to get a kip all this.
When is the blood moon coming? The moon that Mildred talked about.
You
is that
believe it's
the next
tomorrow night? Yeah. So, yeah, you guys hop in the car. Where do you guys want to go?
To Arkham.
You want to take the car right there, or do you want to take the car to the train and then take the train down to Arkham?
That's what they expect us to do. We'll just jump on the train southbound anyway, correct? So we can.
I mean, that
Right,
would throw him
right.
off. He calls them his birds, but he has his birds everywhere, so he always knows. You know, there's very little that I tell him that he doesn't already know.
Aren't you one of his birds?
Well, yeah, I mean, but
So isn't there like the slightest chance that he already knows what we're gonna do?
probably, yeah. I mean,
So this is exactly what he's expecting. So this isn't the
No.
last thing he would ever expect.
No. Just because he knows doesn't mean he expected it.
Oh, right. Okay. I get you.
It just means he'll be ready for us when we get there.
Okay. And what are we gonna ask him when we get there?
That we want to talk with Sloane.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, because we're convinced that he knows where Sloane isn't. Okay, no problem. Gotcha.
He's not going to give that information up willingly, though. We, I suspect, might have to use force.
I suspect you might be right, Mr. Delgado.
oh god.
It's all right, Seth. It's all right. You've got this.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, it's fine. The end anyway, so might as well go out with a bang.
That's right.
He's up there like taking a bullet out and reloading his little Derringer, putting it back in his copy of The Art of War, back in the bag.
Right, well, wake me when we get there, alright?
All right. So you guys take the car and then the train down to Arkham, Massachusetts. It's by the time that you guys are going to arrive back into Arkham, it's going to be about 6 p.m. on the second day. Now, with water turning to blood, this has hit the papers worldwide. This is a huge story. And of course, immediately has been linked to the plagues of Egypt, the Great Plagues. So there is a fair amount of pandemonium and panic. There's a very tense atmosphere on the train. People have been rationing out anything but water to drink. There's a big panic down at the shops to buy anything that doesn't have any water in it, which is really difficult. And so there is a mass panic worldwide going on because no one has any idea how this is happening or when the water is, if it is, ever going to come back. On the second day, you will notice perching on Travis's shoulder a frog, friendly looking fellow, little frog. This heralds the second plague, of course, of little frogs. Well, this one seems friendly, thanks to Crying Wolf's donation. The other frogs that you will have seen from the train do not look so friendly. These creatures are akin to the fish creatures. I'm going to bet a little bit of echo for your speakers again, I think, Tom, by the way. Akin to the fish creatures in size, in that they might be about the size of a small dog. Huge, bloated toads. And as you see them out from the train and panicked people are with you looking outside, you see several of these frogs vomiting up other frog-like children, maybe 10 to 15 every time they vomit. There are, at first, hundreds of them, but shortly there will be thousands of them. As you enter into Arkham, Massachusetts, the police force are out trying to get everyone inside, but it's not safe inside either because there's just water and blood. The frogs don't seem to be harmful. They don't seem to be hurting anyone, but they seem to be multiplying and growing in huge amounts, very similarly to the same way that Yog-Sothoth grew quickly deep beneath the waters. Everyone on the train, as it ends its journey, just runs off, either rushing to get into some kind of safe public building. The churches are allowing people in. So the streets of Arkham are pretty empty, aside from frogs, police, or panicked running people. By the time you arrive, it's about 6 p.m.
Well, whatever we're going to do, we're going to have to do it quickly. This situation is getting, well, out of hand.
I agree, Mr. Delgado. Just get this over with. Seth kind of straightens his spine a little bit.
Before they leave the safety of the station, Father Carmine turns around and puts a hand up for Mr. Delgado to stop for a second, cocks his head as the frogs are splattering outside and vomiting up each other, and he says, "Should I still buy Coca-Cola?"
Absolutely, you should. Coca-Cola is the best investment you can make. The very best. It's going places.
I'm sure it is. He casts the sign of the cross and walks outside. That should at least protect us in a 20-foot radius if these things are eldritch. So,
yeah, they definitely vie away from you. They don't seem to hop or come towards you. So, somewhat like the Red Sea, this mass of huge frogs will part before you as you head over to the Black Dahlia Jazz Club, restaurant, and hotel. None of the frogs look like they've managed to make their way inside the building. And as you enter once again into the Black Dahlia, it seems like there isn't too much panic in here. There are people eating and drinking, and it seems, for the most part, like business as usual.
With the sign of the cross up, does anything pop in this room as being eldritch? He asks, knowing everything in this room is going to pop.
Indeed, almost everything in this room pings off to you as something not quite right.
Fantastic. Do we
There's no sign of
recognize anybody
Prospero.
at the tables?
Not by sight, no. The people look like they're just citizens as far as you can tell. You don't recognize anyone. And you don't see Prospero's white mask.
No.
Seth knows where his office
he's
is,
not
though.
here.
Oh, we can go. It's right through here. I was in there. And Seth starts walking towards Prospero's office.
Yeah. There's a doorman on the door to his office with the same white mask who just steps out of the way as you walk towards the room.
And Seth will have his. Seth will pull out his copy of The Art of War. Looking back at everyone, like, I mean, there's no way he doesn't know we're here already.
Well, we came all this
Almost
way. Go
assuredly.
in. Come on.
Okay. And Seth will reach out and.
Just before you open or touch the door, Father Carmine reaches up his sleeve. He rubs one of the tattoos that says Jolly, and then putting his left hand up his right sleeve, he rubs one of the tattoos that says Caster, and his entire body that is covered in those tattoos begins to glow a soft blue.
After you, Mr. Penhollow.
Okay. All right, let it shine. And he'll turn and open the door.
You walk into the office and you see Prospero sitting at the desk with his mask on. Sitting there quite pensively. Looks up towards you. Yes?
Oh, yes, Mr. Prospero. How are you today?
Fear. It's a delicious sense once you become accustomed to it, Mr. Penhollow. I am well. I hope that you are all as well. Your time is ticking down.
It is the end. We are hurtling towards it. I've seen it.
Quite. Judgment Day is coming.
Why would,
And what have you...
But...
What have you been promised, Mr. Prospero?
Eternal
Coca-Cola?
damnation. Coca-Cola. Why, no, I find it unwise to make investments in such places. I leave that to the professionals, Mr. Delgado, as I think you well know.
Good day.
How can I help you all?
We believed we would save you some time. You were going to help us, but we were selfishly going to divert our attentions to Baltimore. I convinced my colleagues that perhaps being in your presence was the wisest move, considering the climate outside.
Indeed. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it leads us both closer into danger. Nonetheless, I think the Symphony are more busy at the moment with their own machinations to be worried about little old me. I can tell that you still cannot trust me. That is wise, I suppose. I am, in my nature, untrustworthy. Yet at the same time, our goals are aligned. Not all of us here have the same goals. I mentioned before, secrets have a funny way of just spilling out around me.
Then, Mr. Prospero, let us roll up our sleeves and get to work.
And Father Carmine begins to roll up his sleeves.
You wish to find Sloane and speak with him? I need something to do this. I need a sacrifice. Someone to die. I was hoping this Morris might be just a person for the job. But if not, we'll have to find someone else. The Necronomicon requires a price. If we are to find him.
And what price did Sloane pay?
He paid that long ago, I believe. His soul.
Huh. It's a trifle of a price.
Is it now? More valuable than perhaps you once thought, Mr. Delgado. Soul. When damnation is on the doorstep, perhaps it's the only thing we have left. When Judgment Day comes. There are many who would sell their souls, of course, for more or less than the Necronomicon. Much, much less. Beings and creatures of despicable power.
in return for such trifles as material wealth, money, greed. Those who have will find themselves in a sticky situation, soon, I am sure.
Father Carmine starts to look at Mr. Delgado.
Well, that's neither here nor there. We're here for Sloan. So, if we have to do something to speak to him, to find him, just tell us what you know. If our purposes are aligned.
Find me a body. I will do the rest. Then you will be able to speak with Sloan.
Anybody will do?
Those with power are preferable. Hence, Morris. A weaker being might not work so well. May require several.
You have a whole restaurant full.
Not of humans.
About this spell, about needing the body for the purpose he says he needs it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, seems legit. The Necronomicon may need a price. Yeah, you're not sure.
Okay.
Can I make it a
would need to know the
occult roll?
You'd need to know the exact specifics of the spell. The occult roll would give you, and I'll just give this to you, is that some rituals do require sacrifices to open doors. So, Yog-Sothoth may require sacrifices to open gates. Perhaps that is why Mr. Larry Croswell was killed, in order to open the gate in the painting. Yeah. It certainly holds up with something that you vaguely have heard of with occult killings.
Well, time is not on our side, so who around here can we kill and go speak to our friend Sloan?
Well, I would need around 10 normal people, or one with great power. There aren't many of those. A few stand here. Or, of course, Morris. The believers are dead. Mugtru Agency has killed Caligula. Gone. There are few left who hold power in this world. Those who do see to its destruction.
So we go get Morris. Right?
Seth just kind of like looks over at the father.
Or we go find 10 people who have nothing left to live for here in Arkham.
Hey, you just go around and go, hey, excuse me, do you want to die? Well, that'll be great. I'm sure they'll be lining up for miles.
Well, we're not going to ask them. Time is of the essence. You see what's happening around us. The end is coming. The signs are in the sky. They're in the streets. Those frogs. That's only going to get worse. We don't have time to go back to Baltimore. Morris could be gone. The easiest, safest.
So you're
solution.
suggesting we just grab 10 random people off the street? Is that what you're
Yes.
doing? Would you like to be one of those number 10, Mr. Delgato? Hmm?
I am
can't
not a
be.
random person.
Why can't he be?
Oh,
You're
I would need less
human,
than
aren't
10
you?
Mr. Delgados.
I mean, Mr. Delgado,
He's
you
already
could
done it.
probably... Bet you could pay people to do it.
It's true. I could make their families' lives more comfortable. I'm sure there are people who make that bargain every day. But whatever we do, we should do it quickly.
On that bombshell, we're going to end tonight's session of Call of Cthulhu. So deciding whether or not to kill 10 normal people or find Morris with a deal here with Mr. Prospero. So I have to see how that goes for them next week. Something tells me it'll be interesting. Let's go around to cast and crew because we've got Warhammer Beneath Dark Bowers coming to you guys in just a few minutes' time. So stick around for that. Mr. Jim Davis will be in the DMC, of course, leading us old heretics through trying to find some witches. Thank you guys for all of the donations and the viewer decisions today. That was fucking awesome and always makes the game even more fun. And yeah, love to see Lieutenant Martin Paul getting even stronger thanks to your guys' donations. So I appreciate that. Let's go around to cast and crew though. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys? Let's start in reverse order with Pruitt.
Well, shit. You know, every week we start here on Wednesday, and every time we get done, we're a little bit crazier. Once again, my character has descended into true madness, so that's fun to play. I love making the chat think that I'm actually crazy. Is the casual way in which I play it. But I gotta, yeah. But yes, I absolutely love this fucking game. I can't wait till next week. I can't wait to see what happens. Seth will probably lobby to go after Morris. But anyway, can't wait till next week. I'm JPrewWink on Twitter, one half of the WebDM Beast. You can see our shows on Wednesdays today on YouTube. I have my game on Tuesday night, Starward Bound, alongside Greg. And RPGN still on hiatus for a bit. I'm going to be on Encounter Roleplay next Monday for a thing. That's going to be fun. Also, everybody make sure to tune in to this weekend on WebDM's Twitch for Escape from Flavortown. Emma Lambert, who is also in my Starward Bound game, is running our first charity game. We've got an amazing cast, and it's going to be all the donations are going to go to a great cause here in Texas, women's empowerment. So please tune in 1 o'clock, I believe 1 o'clock Central on the WebDM Twitch for that. It's going to be fucking huge. And also pay attention to certain channels in the next couple of days for big announcements about that. Yeah. As much as I can really say. Anyway, moving on.
And done.
That was a really fun session. The insanity is striking hard and early in this campaign. It's only going to get worse. I don't feel like there's. I don't feel like it's. I don't think the potion that I get is going to be a potion of regain all my sanity. So I'm looking forward to seeing and the fun of figuring out how to play all that. This cast is great, and it'll be great to have Lindy back next week. Not having Mildred with everything that happened, she could have been a very, very good influence on the party today. So hopefully, maybe she'll have something for us next week. You can find me on Twitter at Donovan Fry. I do stuff, play games. Shout out to Project Kronos on Greg's channel on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Second episode is this weekend, this Saturday at 2 p.m. It's Pulp Cthulhu, so it's like Cthulhu, but kind of with superheroes. It's awesome.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Don. And Greg.
I am going to basically say exactly what Pruitt and Don have already said. And this is just going to show everybody how insane a year's worth of Cthulhu has made me. I'm convinced Mildred's the mole. I'm convinced that she is the evil thing and that she always has been. So I'm making the call now. So if it happens, I seem like a brilliant person. If it's not, you already know I'm crazy. So it's a win-win for me. This place is super. I think Delgado is a complete red herring. I've made these crazy assumptions now, and now I know. Now I'm sure. I know it. I love playing this game. It's so insane. Now, Martin Pole's flying now. He's fucking flying.
He can fucking fly.
I mean,
he can levitate.
Okay. He's got a goddamn cape on and he's flying. Cool. All right.
Become Voldemort, yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Lieutenant Martin Voldemort.
Right. All right. Well, anyway, Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. Chat, you are absolutely awesome. You can find me here where it's at for the past year and for the foreseeable future. 1 to 4 on Wednesdays, super duper fun. Fridays from 2 to 4 on my channel, a little Firefly RPG. Saturday, Don mentioned it, 2 to 4 on my channel. We do a little Project Chronos Pulp Cthulhu. We have our wrap-up session of Learn by Play this week on D&D Wizards of the Coast from 6 to 9. Sunday night is my Project Athena Pulp Cthulhu from 7 to 9. Mondays here for Atomic Cthulhu from 4:30 to 7:30. Tuesdays, Tomes and Tentacles drops, and Tuesday evenings I get to play Elry Toss Bottle, Arcane Trickster Extraordinaire and Halfling Drunkard and Dope Addict. But here's where it's at. I'll see you guys. I don't know who I am, but Mildred is evil. I'll see you guys next week. I'll change my mind then. But.
And Tom.
Oh, poor Lindy, not even here, and Greg's already
Savage.
Crucifying poor Mildred. But in Call of Cthulhu, you do question literally everyone and everything. You can trust nothing, not even yourself most of the time. But as all the others have echoed, it's a really fascinating episode. I really enjoyed this episode. There was a lot of intrigue and story progression and basically the start of the apocalypse. So that you can't grumble over an episode when it starts in the apocalypse, can you? I mean, you just can't. So I'm very, very interested to see where this will go. Travis is still... He is so far in. This is all above his head. He basically has put it down to revenge now. So he's going to go around and start gunning people down that have caused the death of so many things. And that's it. That is basically what he's going to boil it down to, because that's what he understands. Things might change. Things might change, as they tend to in Call of Cthulhu, but we'll wait and see. Myself, I'm Redundant UK. I stream on Twitch. Redundant UK, you know, I play computer games and stuff. It's cool. Funny enough, Will, I was playing Bloodborne, and I wanted you to introduce these old mad men who are in wheelchairs that have Gatling guns into Call of Cthulhu.
I can do that.
You know,
Like
it's really interesting. I think that's perfect.
I'm just a Gatling gun away, really, aren't I?
Yeah.
Exactly. No, be there. Amazing stuff.
But yeah, that's me. I'm on Twitter as well, Redundant_UK. They're the best places to get hold.
Awesome. Well, thank you, my friends, for joining us tonight for Doors to Darkness. A special shout out to Babbins, who's at BAABINS on Twitter, has been doing a bunch of artwork and drawings of all of our characters and all of the monsters from Doors to Darkness. So I wanted to give you a thank you for all of that. It's been super cool seeing all of that come in, and I'll drop the VOD for the YouTube video. So thank you for that, my friends. But we're going to head into Warhammer for some Beneath Dark Boughs. We'll see you guys there in a minute. Until next time, try not to throw too many net ones. We'll be here laughing when you do. Good night, everyone.